This episode of Nintendo Expansion Pass is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support Nintendo Pop Block and the Boss Rush Network, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network and see which tier is right for you. Thanks for your continued support. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host and lots excited Eddie V. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hey Ed, how's it going? It's 2024, we're here. Expansion
Happy
Pass
New Year.
time.
Yes. It's been a while since we did this one.
I know. Well, it's because we only do it twice a month and we usually record them back to back.
Yes,
so,
that is true.
you know. So, by the way, before,
go ahead.
Just to give people a heads up real quick, since we skipped the first weekend of the year, these are coming out week 2 and 3 instead of week 1 and 3. And then they're going to start coming out on Fridays now because the schedule is changed. I don't know if we went over that on Power Block or not. Power Block's staying on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out if you put episodes out during the week and not on the weekends, they do better. So some of our stuff is changing a little bit. So also, Ed, I'm very excited for one of our expansion passes that actually may not be an expansion pass at all. It might actually just launch or relaunch a show.
Ooh, yes.
So, you know, Ed, we did just go through that major redesign of all the Boss Rush stuff. So.
Yes, which I do have to say, I was actually thinking about this one, Corey. And I forgot to tweet it out and ask this person, but I think I need you and Lamont for us to watch and commentate on Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the new Ninja Turtle movie, because
I would like to, but I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it.
That's why, like, once again, the movie commentary, like, we all watch it and commentary. Because I was thinking of going back to the second commentary. I keep listening to the first one, our first Ninja Turtle commentary with me, you, and Jesse and stuff.
We gotta get Jesse back on something. I know maybe not full time because he's still doing his thing, but I miss him. I was gonna reach out to him today and I got really busy and I forgot. But Jesse, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I left him a message on Xbox, just a voice message saying, like, hope he's doing good and happy New Year and everything. So yeah, we're gonna try to catch up with Jesse and get him on something. Yeah, because I miss my bro him too. Yeah,
that was weird. My entire background on my desktop just changed. So the new Mac OS update has like a dynamic background, and depending on the time of day, it changes colors.
Yeah,
and so like it's like orange. It's like bright during the day, and then as the sun goes down, like this blue shade starts coming down and blends into the orange like a sunset, and then the sunset disappears, and like it just got really dark because it's 10 o'clock at night.
Which, Corey, it might be a Domino's night for me.
Man, don't say that, man. I'm back on my diet, and my body feels better because I've been eating trash every day, which is great. But also, all I want is like pizza and tacos, and I can't have them till the weekend.
Well, I had nuggets at lunch today, and so that's pretty much it. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to be hungry again later, and Domino's might be. But we're going to talk about food on Power Block another day, because I tried a new place, and I'm going to speak about that on Power Block when we get there. But we got a really good episode, everybody. You probably already seen the title, but we're going to be discussing our game of the year for 2023 for all consoles. So this is going to include Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, or PC. Case people who did like Epic Games or Windows games and
By the
stuff.
way, I know people don't care about the Epic Game Store, and I know a lot of our audience probably aren't PC players at all, or maybe they are. Maybe they're exclusively PC and just have the Switch because you can't, legally get Nintendo games on the PC. But Epic's been handing out some pretty awesome games. Like today was Guardians of the Galaxy for free. And like a week and a half ago was every expansion to Destiny except for Lightfall.
Oh, I didn't know that Destiny was on Epic Games.
Yeah, the entire, that was there. And then there's something else too pretty big recently too that they just gave away for free. I know Alan Wake Remastered was one at one point, Control at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they have the publishing deals with Remedy and stuff, but yeah. So, anyways, side tangent. Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way, if you haven't played it,
pretty good.
Incredible.
Game.
It's an incredible video game.
It's a long shooter, I will say that, but it's
not
really
that long.
fun. Dude, it's kind of long with all the cutscenes.
15 hours.
That's
like a Tomb Raider game.
I think because the great game, it's long in the fact that nothing changes in the game and stuff. So they don't add anything different. You just do a lot of combat when you get into those spots. You're not really... It doesn't add a variety of gameplay mechanics, but when you are in a lot of the fights in different levels, it does get fun, but it may feel a little bit repetitive to folks and everything. I think if it was like 12 hours, it would have been fine. But like I said, it's a really great game. I wish it sold more. I wish a lot of people really gave it a fair chance and stuff when it came out, because I know people feelings for the Avengers played a part in their decision about Guardians. But I will say, on its own, Guardians is a really great game. It really is good. And if it's on sale, or if it is, Epic Games, if you get it for free by the time this comes out, hopefully you snagged it. If not, if you can find it on a good sale, I advise people to get it and give it a try. I haven't played the Switch Cloud version yet or anything.
Yeah, don't do that. Play it on a normal console that can handle it.
True, but I'm just saying, in case people who only have a Switch and hear this, I'm just letting them know we haven't played it to give our personal opinions on it. We're just giving opinions on the outside look. But I played it on Series X and I enjoyed it there.
I played it. Yeah, I played it there too.
I think we both beat it right on Series X.
Yeah, that game was awesome. When did that come out? 2022? 1? 21? 22?
I'm
looking
21, I think.
I'm looking it up. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Because I think it was a fall game.
Came out in 2021. Yeah, 2021.
Okay. Yeah, because I think it was like in the fall. Or something when it came out. So, yeah. So, Corey, you want to hop into our list of games?
Oh, I guess so. So, like Ed said, this is all of our favorite games of the year from all platforms. And, Ed, I'm going to kick it off with a little ditty. If you're into Zelda games, this one might be for you. It's on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC and cloud. If you are a clouder, if you're an X-clouder, from Coco Cucumber, Ravenlock is my number 10 game. It's basically it's a 3D voxel game, and I actually think they updated it to where you can actually rotate the camera now, and it's a full 3D game. But when I played it, it was essentially like a fixed camera, like almost like a stage show where like, you know, there was a clear edge of the map and you couldn't rotate the camera, but it's essentially a 3D version of a top-down Zelda game. There's 3 major dungeons and then a final dungeon. You're basically you're this girl who gets sucked into an Alice in Wonderland inspired world. I would say it's pretty Alice in Wonderland, and you play the role of Alice, except your name is Raven instead of Alice for some reason. But like the Queen of Hearts is there, and the White Rabbit is there, and like all the trimmings of Alice in Wonderland are there. So basically you're kind of going through Alice in Wonderland and collecting these 3 kind of medallions to unlock the castle door to go, you know, fight the queen and save Wonderland or whatever. And so I loved it. It's not the greatest game of all time by any stretch, but the combat, even though it's simple, is really fun. The puzzles are just hard enough to when you complete a puzzle that it feels rewarding. The bosses are really interesting and cool looking. Highly recommended. It's on Xbox Game Pass. I don't know if it's coming to any other console anytime soon. I would assume that it would make its way to Switch eventually, because this is their previous game, Echo Generation, was an Xbox exclusive for a year, I think, on Game Pass, and then it ended up coming to Switch at some point. But Ravenlock from Coco Cucumber, highly recommended. It's an amazing indie game.
I think that probably hit this summer or probably this fall.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, it came out before April or May-ish.
So then that would make their 1 year exclusive.
Yeah.
Time exclusive. Yeah.
It might show up in some sort of like Nintendo Direct. And then like it seems like a good Nintendo Direct shadow drop game.
Yes. That
honestly.
I can.
So that's my number 10, Ed.
Okay. And my number 10, and I'm just going to give everybody heads up about this list. And the reason why I'm giving you heads up is because the games on this list are all that I played on Xbox. Nothing really Nintendo related on my list. Because I gave my games of 2023 on Nintendo Power Block, so you guys can check that out. But my number 10 is Redfall. Now, that's going to shock a lot of people on why I put it in this list and everything. I will say, because I played Redfall the day that it came out. I did pick it up. I got the physical version and did all the downloading. At the time that I was playing it, I was enjoying myself. I could see the 30 frames per second. I kind of could see that the game did look like an Xbox One generated game. It was it was me and Jesse's most anticipated game, that E3 that it was shown. And we know that it got many delays and everything. It's kind of, I would say, like a looter shooter in a sense, that was very easy to get into and maintain and stuff. Like a lot of the fights wasn't hard. Yes, the AI was stupid and everything, but I did enjoy what I played, and I don't think it should have deserved the negative opinions that it got and everything. And I'm glad that it did get the update and people did go back and truly enjoying it. Our editor-in-chief David, he loves the game, he enjoyed it and everything. And I think between me and him, there is a kind of a difference of opinion, because of what I played at the beginning and that him playing this updated version and everything. but I did enjoy it. I will say I played the whole game single player. I did not play it with anyone else and stuff. And I tried to do public matchmaking. Like I really tried to put myself out there to play with other people, and nobody was taking the bait. Like it really felt like the player base dropped. And I tried to play it at night where a lot of people would be on and they just wasn't there. But personally for me, I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I had fun with it. The shooting felt good. It felt very balanced. Staking the vampires with my gun, metal gun stake was good. I didn't really have to worry about sniping. I did a lot of shotgunning in this. So I kind of really run a gun this game like it was Contra in the sense. Besides going from the bosses were different. And I think that's where the multiplayer aspect would have came in to make the game easier. And so the bosses were challenging doing the single player, but like doing missions and everything, going through the houses and invading them, was all fine. It was all good. You could really see some Borderland influence in there, but you could see the difference, the separations of those games also. So my number 10 is Redfall.
Interesting choice. I have heard some, I don't want to say good things, but I've heard some pretty decent things about that game over the last couple months in terms of their content updates, and it runs at 60 now. There's still a lot of texture popping, but it's still I heard it's better, and actually functions as a video game. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but you know what I mean. Like it actually is a competent looter shooter, and I tried to go back and play it, and I got stuck on a door twice, and I stopped playing it. But I would. That's a game I would like to see, and like to maybe go back to at some point. Although, I guess we'll see. I mean, 2024 for me seems like a backlog year so far, and financially anyway. So. We'll see.
You'll be able to play the new games through Game Pass. So
yeah, well, with Game Pass, yeah, but I mean, like, obviously, Nintendo stuff is going to be the priority in terms of spending my money, and then Game Pass will supplement that. But anything on PlayStation this year is going to be like, well, or maybe third-party stuff. It's it's gonna be tight this year, mostly because of insurance costs going up and buying a house and that kind of thing. Anyways, don't be an adult, everybody. It's expensive. Anyways, my number 9 game, Ed, and I think you're gonna be surprised that it's on my list. But I actually played some. Maybe not surprised, but I think you're gonna be surprised it made my top 10. Is Hi-Fi Rush on Xbox.
Ooh.
From Tango Gameworks. For those who don't know who they are, they made The Evil Within 1 and 2, which are, Resident Evil 4 inspired survival horror games, which I hear are actually pretty good if you like that type of game. But Hi-Fi Rush is a highly stylized, animated rhythm action game. Yeah. Which the combat flows to the beat of the music in the game, and you have to, you can mash buttons, but your combos hit better and your damage is better when you play to the beat of the music. And it's just a really fun, feel good game. And I played some more of it over break because it's a game that I've been meaning to go back and finish, actually. And it's just a wonderful experience. I think the characters are really cool. I think the boss battles are pretty cool. That the first 2 boss battles specifically are really memorable.
Yes.
Rekka is awesome, and we put Corsica on our top villain or best bad guy list for game of the year stuff coming up, and it's worth checking out. It's on Game Pass, and it's going to be there because it's an Xbox first party game, and so I check it out. It's great. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, Corey, my number 9 is Dead Island 2. And the reason I put this at number 9, I'm not far into the game, but I really enjoy what I'm playing. It once again another zombie game. It doesn't do anything different. But what I do like about it is the fact that the studio who made Homefront 2, is it Dam Buster, I think? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that they came in and Dam Buster. They came in after this game had trouble stuff. And even though it feels like it's patched up, I feel like they really did a great job in the level design. The world looks beautiful. Gameplay is not too hard to get into and stuff. It is kind of funny at times and stuff, and it's not a bad zombie game. It's, in my opinion, everybody is better than Dying Light 2. And I know Dying Light 2 got an update which I need to try out, but Dead Island 2 really, it got great sales and everything, and it's just it's so enjoyable to play. It's just a fun romp, beating zombies and running and jumping on them and whacking them left and right and everything. Like it really is fun. It's way better. Of course, it's better than the first one, but man, it's just it feels real polished for me, and I had fun with it and stuff. Dialogue is very B movie and kind of terrible at times. But when you get into the game and you're doing the missions, you are really going to have a fun time doing it. So number 9 is Dead Island 2 for me. And it really is a good game. Like a really great game and stuff. And I'm still having fun with it. I just gotta invest more time into it. A lot of 2023 games I have really had to jump around and play. But yeah.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts. Nice. All right, well, I guess it's my turn, huh? So number 8 for me, and I was trying to figure out where I should put this, and I kind of settled here, although I kind of want to move it up one spot. I've been flipping these two games back and forth, but number 8 for me is Destiny 2 Lightfall. Not to get into too much Destiny stuff, but obviously Bungie's been in the news cycle for the other consoles and PC for a while, and even in just general gaming news, because of the layoffs and the financial issues that the studio is having. And Lightfall was not very well received, and I included did not think that the expansion was a great piece of content. But what I do want to say that supplements that campaign is that the raid they put out with the campaign was very good. The supplemental seasons, which we are on the 4th season right now, of the year, when it's the final season of Destiny 2, actually, before the final shape, have all been I would say good to great, and I would say the last two have been great.
Mm-hmm.
And the new weapons and subclass that they added are fun, and it's been another pretty decent year in my opinion for Destiny. It hasn't been a great year, but I had a lot of fun playing when I did play, although I've played so many other games that I feel like I hardly played any Destiny this year, except it was still my most played game of the year. Shocker. Yeah. But not by much. And I've taken pretty extensive breaks this year to the point where like I would log in and just kind of forgot how to play the game in some cases. You know how like when you're really into a game and you leave it and then you come back to it and you're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's the Robin Williams meme of what year is it? But Destiny has been pretty fun this year. You know, I think the Tower Casuals community, the Destiny podcast that I host, has been maybe skews that tremendously, because I've made a lot of good friends there, and that community has been pretty supportive of us in general. But Destiny is just a game that's always going to exist for me as a, you know, it's like comfort food. And Lightfall was really good, and the aesthetic of the campaign was really cool. I mean, synthetic cyber ninjas is a cool theme for you guys out there. So yeah, also it was man, the Bungie community and the Destiny community had so many significant blows this year, man. Like
I was just about to bring that up, and this is my personal opinion about Bungie. I feel bad for them because of what happened and what they go through. But I think it's a good thing for them. And everybody just hear me out on this. It has happened to Microsoft, it has happened to Sony, and it's happened to Nintendo, that when there's something that knocks them down and something just doesn't, like, it's not their year, it's not their system, it's not their time, when they come back better. And I think Bungie needed this not with the death of one of their not his death, even though that's really sad. And I know the layoffs really suck, but I think this is getting Bungie to open their eyes that, you know, we really got to take this serious. When we come back, we got to come back hard. We got to come, and not in the fact that, you know, it's not that, oh, you should know who we are because they're not doing that. I think when they come back, they're going to be more humble and be like,
the thing though too is, like, not to get super into it because we've gone over it on multiple shows at this point, but I mean, if the final shape doesn't deliver, Sony could take over the studio. And also, once the final shape comes out, there's going to be another round of layoffs. They've essentially confirmed it without confirming it. And as somebody who's been a Bungie fan for a long time, I mean, Halo, right? I mean, Halo's been a part of my life since forever, since I was in high school, right? I mean, and Halo 2 in college dorm rooms, and standing outside midnight for Halo 3, right? And then the launch of Destiny, and Bungie is pretty unrecognizable right now. And a lot of fans are worried about that. And I mean, you know this, I'm friendly with some people that used to work there now. And it's been challenging. So for them, for sure. And I wish everybody the best. I really do. I hope they figure out a leadership thing. I don't want to talk more about this because we're celebrating games, but
yeah.
While we're at it, I want to acknowledge the fact that even though we had an amazing year of video games, the industry as a whole took a pretty big hit in terms of layoffs and closures, and it affected a lot of people negatively this year as well. And I think we need to take the time to acknowledge that. And to all those affected, I know there's a lot of talented people. I mean, not just in the Bungie front, but Epic laid off a bunch of people. Microsoft laid off some people.
Dude, the
Sony,
Enforcer group, just like all the studios. Embracer, not Enforcer. I'm sorry, Embracer. All the people that got their studios closed, and all the people that they laid off. Like, my heart really goes out to them. And everything. I mean, it goes out to all the developers who've been affected and studios who has been closed. Like, I felt saddened when Japan studios at Sony, when they got closed. The people who made Eco and The Last Guardian and stuff like that, and all these other games. Like, my heart crushed, because it's just like, to me personally, I felt like I'm not going to get a variety and different and Nintendo like style games from that company ever again, and it sucks. Like, I would have played Time Splitter if they would have stayed open, and everything. I got Saints Row the remake and definitely enjoyed it, and just felt so bad that those studios closed, and it sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks. It's and I know we're here to celebrate games, and we do this every year. But I think not just us, but as an industry as a whole, I think we need to do a better job of at least acknowledging the bad things that happen. And I know people acknowledge it in their own way, right? Or like Jason Schreier writes something up and everybody like pounds on the leaderships of these studios, but there needs to be a better, more constructive way. And I know there are people in the industry who put, job listings up every couple weeks on Twitter, and there are resources for that, and LinkedIn is a great place to connect with people, right? And that's how I've connected with a lot of people in the industry, is through LinkedIn, of all places. But just there's a lot of people affected. Bungie laid off 108 people, Epic laid off almost 1,000 people, Embracer Group closed quite a few studios this year, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So I think the statistic was over 12,000 people got laid off in the video games industry this year. And that's a huge number. So everybody, just we feel for you, and there's a lot of people affected, and we hope everybody finds their way.
Yes.
Sorry, I know that got kind of somber at that point. I didn't mean to.
No, but that's a good thing to bring up, to mention. So, well, let me get into my number 8 really quick, because I think we both have this game on this. There's 2 games I think we both have on our list that is going to surprise us in a way on where we place them at. So, but we're not going to reveal it just yet. We'll wait to the end for that. My number 8 is Hogwarts Legacy. And it looks really good, plays well. Just haven't spent enough time with it, and everything. But I'm ready to get more into the game and learn about the world. Heads up, everybody. I am not a fan of the Harry Potter series. It just does nothing for me. But Hogwarts Legacy, what it offers gameplay wise, the ideas, the world and everything is really fun to get into. It really feels like a action adventure game, kind of for kids. Also, it doesn't feel too hard or too challenging and everything. And outside of the controversy, it really is a great game, and I'm glad that people did give this game a chance. and not think about the controversy, but think about the fun that the game was going to offer. So number 8 is Hogwarts Legacy for me. It is one of my games on my backlog that I want to get through and I want to play and speak more about it and have fun and laugh about. So number 8 is Hogwarts Legacy. Corey,
Nice.
what's your number 7?
All right, Ed. A big surprise on my list. I wasn't even planning on playing it this year, but we did it for a book club. It's a survival horror game, Ed. Resident Evil 4 is on my list.
Remake.
Yes, the remake. And it's pretty good, I would say. I'm not a huge survival horror game person. I don't like the spookies. I didn't really care for how scary this was, especially at the beginning. But once you become more powerful throughout the game, it feels more like a atmospheric action game than a survival horror game, to be honest with you. And then obviously Separate Ways is just a straight up action game at that point. But it was really good. I enjoyed the characters, and the story is ridiculous. And it's funny because Resident Evil as a series is something I'm super fascinated by from a story and a lore standpoint.
Yeah.
But I don't like playing most of the games because they're super scary.
I think the older games are. I think once you get to 5.
Well, yeah, 5,
6,
4, 5, 6 are just. I mean, 5 and 6 are just straight up Gears of War ripoffs.
Yeah,
so
like
I actually really
scaries.
like 6. By the way, I know people don't like 6, but I liked it.
I'm playing. I haven't finished 6 yet, but I'm playing that one on easy just to see what I missed from when it originally came out. And yeah, it's just a pure action game. It's a little bit long, just for unnecessary reasons. But I'm like, okay, I see what it is. 5, I did enjoy playing that game with my friend and everything. So that one, I think 5 is better than 6. And I feel like you do need to play 5 with another person.
Yeah, because the AI in 5 was terrible when I played it.
Yeah, if you're going to play the AI, well, play with the AI in 5, just throw it on easy.
Yeah. So that's my number 7. That was my number 7.
Okay, and my number 7 is Alan Wake 2. Now, everybody know I complain about the gameplay. Outside of that, it is a very good survival horror game. It's beautiful. The Northlight engine is really well used in that game. The voice acting is great. I love Saga's story more than Alan Wake's, because it has that Phoenix Wright mystery and solving case and everything, investigations. I love that part of the game. I do like her mind place and stuff. I do like all the connections with Control. Of course, seeing Adi in there, I kind of laugh and everything. I'm like, I'm glad that he's in here and he's at a karaoke bar singing. I was just like, okay, this is pure. This is the enjoyment that I get in everything. But yeah, I really do like this game. It is spooky in the fact that the jump scares for it works well. The boss fights are annoying and everything, but the jump scares and some of the environments that you are in and hearing the noises and stuff, I was like, okay, this was well done. This is real good and everything. And I kind of feel like they borrowed some stuff from Hellblade 1. But I feel like, of course, Hellblade has their own thing. I feel like Alan Wake 2 did enough to provide the scaries for it. And it did come out at the right time for Halloween. With that being said, oh goodness, the gameplay and and the camera work is, yeah, just it's something that needs to be fixed and everything. And I will say, sorry everybody, I still think Control is better than Alan Wake 2, but Alan Wake 2 is a great game. So,
well, Ed, it's safe to say that Alan Wake 2 is not on my list. So my number 6 game of the year is Pikmin 4. Just an incredible experience. I actually kind of, now that I'm looking at my list, I kind of wish I would have put it higher a little bit, but it's fine. It's going to stay here. It's over. It's locked in. Pikmin 4 is the definitive Pikmin experience, in my opinion. It's the best game since the first game. I'm going to stand by that. It's got little mini dungeons that kind of feel like Baby's first Zelda dungeons. It's Ochi does a lot to improve the gameplay.
Love him.
It's just an incredible experience. A lot of talking that I just kind of skip over because I don't really care what's going on. I get it. You crash landed on a mysterious planet called Earth, and you are looking for Captain Olimar, and that's kind of all you need to know. It's great. I love my only complaint I have is that I wish the day, like the time to explore, was a little bit longer during the day. Like, even if it was just like 5 more minutes or something for the day night cycle to last. But and when you're underground, it doesn't move. But when you're on top, just kind of like exploring and, you know, trying to find things, like it's you know, I wish it was a little bit longer. But that said, it's the second best experience on the Nintendo Switch this year, in my opinion. So
good.
Pikmin 4 is incredible.
I love that game.
Oh man, remember when it was announced for Wii U like so long ago? That was one of the first games we talked about after Breath of the Wild, or before Breath of the Wild, was like, yeah, Pikmin 4. Miyamoto said he's working on it, but where is it? You know, it'd be great to have a sequel.
And we got it 6 years later.
Man, those early episodes of Nintendo Power Block, man. Like, I think one of the first episodes was we had just found out the name of Zelda. 2016, man. And
we just had it was it's so weird. Everybody would go look at it and everything. It would feel like that we podcast for years, and it was just our first episode.
Yeah, I always feel like this show has gone on longer than it has. Because like I'm like, man, we've been doing this for such a long time, and because like I remember talking about Bayonetta 2 for a long time, but it was the Switch version, and like, you know, I'm just like, oh, we've only really been doing this since 2016, only because it's 2024 now. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
how long the Wii U era lasted. I felt like that era of this show, even though it was only like maybe a year, was like 4 years long because the Wii U era felt long because there was no games to talk about.
But then we did a 2.5 hour of our top 25 Wii U games, and they're just like,
I wonder,
there's more. I
wonder how much our top 25s have changed since then. I feel like, and I know we're kind of doing that with the time capsule episodes of Expansion Pass of like the top games for each console or whatever, but I kind of want to revisit the top 25 Wii U games and see if they've changed at all for us.
I think
if they have or not.
I don't think mine had changed at all.
Yeah,
because I think I'm going to rewatch that episode. I think I should rewatch.
Well, we split it into 2 because it was so long, because we wouldn't shut up. Oh man, good times.
Yeah,
good times. Anyways, Pikmin 4.
Yeah. Top 25 Wii U games, and all of them was first party Nintendo games, but most of it.
Well, yeah. Well, no, most of mine were not. Most of mine were, but some of mine were not. I mean, I had Batman Arkham Origins on there. I had Injustice on there, I think. Mass Effect was an incredible experience. By the way, will still stand by, aside from the story stuff, which I understand is the main draw of Mass Effect. I get it. Okay. From a gameplay perspective, the Wii U version was the most interesting out of all of them because the gamepad not only was used as like a radar that you could use, but you could also designate each teammate individually and tell them what path to take by tracing it on the gamepad. Telling you guys, the Wii U version of Mass Effect 3 is really good.
And it sucks that we don't have it on Switch. I would take a port of Mass Effect Wii U.
Oh, man,
Mass Effect 3.
Well, at this point, it would probably be the Legendary Edition on the new console, which we need to talk about on Power Block, the next episode of Power Block, which will probably already be out by the time you guys hear this, but whatever.
Yeah.
Ed, what's your number 6? Get me out of here. Save me.
Okay. My number 6 is going to be a game that, Corey, you probably never heard of.
Shocker.
But it did come out in 2022, but I played it in 2023. It's called
that's not eligible.
It's called Gungrave Gore. Well, the thing about it is that
that game was on Game Pass for a long time.
Well, you know what? They put it on sale sometime in 2020 last year. I didn't know it was on Xbox when it released. When it originally came out, I thought it was just a PlayStation exclusive, and then it came out later for Xbox. But I had just played it and I heard great. I had been hearing great things about it, but I thought it was just on PlayStation and then it came out for Xbox. But I understand why it got so much love for it. It is a fun third-party shoot 'em up action game. Like, that's all you literally do is shoot and kill. It's based off the anime Gungrave. This is separate from the PS2 game that came out, the Gungrave anime that came out on PS2. It's different than that. But it looks really good, very stylish. It has some laugh out loud moments. It's literally dumb fun. It's a dumb fun video game and everything. So I played it last year. So yeah, it's developed by Iggy Mob. It's on Unreal Engine 4. It's on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Windows, Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. And they released November 22nd, 2022. So yeah, I just thought that it was, I didn't realize that it actually came on Xbox because of seeing everybody talk about the game on PlayStation. And stuff, and nobody was talking about like Xbox or anything. So my number 6 is Gungrave Gore. Very fun game. Corey, what is your number 5?
You can take it up with the audience if that counts or not. My number 5 is Disney Dreamlight Valley 1.0. Yeah. That's similar a situation where this game came out in 2022 in early access, but it just hit 1.0 in November of 2023. So, it made the list. I should have, yeah. I wanted to put it higher on my list, but I felt like everybody would look at me like I was strange, and then I had to think about it. I'm like, did I really like it more than these other games? And I'm like, maybe some of them, but
wait till I get to my 4 to 1. You're gonna be like, wait, what?
My top 4 are actually pretty. I'm shocked when I was ordering these because I wrote down every game that I at least wanted to play this year, and then I deleted the ones that I didn't play, and then I ordered the rest of them. And I was actually kind of shocked at how my list turned out. The top 10, to be honest. But Disney Dreamlight Valley, man, I don't know if I have anything else left to say about it. It's great. If you like Animal Crossing, if you like Disney, if you like questing, this is for you.
Well,
I haven't played it in like a week and a half, Ed. I'm worried about my people. I'm gonna turn it on to see, make sure nobody died.
Well, Corey, my number 5 is Ghostwire Tokyo. So,
Ed, these aren't 2023 games.
I know that,
it's 2024.
But this was the struggle of Xbox and gaming in general. There really wasn't much to play.
That's 1,000% untrue.
Dude,
you're playing the wrong games.
Look, the only game that wouldn't have made the only game I have not got yet and installed is Armored Core 6. Like everything else, I'm not gonna put Sea of Stars on my list because
you're the worst. You're making us look like bad gamers, Ed.
I love Sea of Stars and everything, but
ineligible.
Huh?
It's a 2022 game.
But I played it in 2023.
Doesn't matter.
So, well, it matters to me.
I played Super Mario Brothers 3 in 2023. Does that mean it's eligible for my game of the year?
Well, you beat it.
No.
Plus, you already beat me on Mario Brothers 3.
Nope. That's not how that works.
Well, guess what? It's going to work for me. Ghostwire Tokyo is my number 5 because I played it, I completed, I beat the game, I enjoyed it. It's not too spooky. I love Japanese, action and theater and mythology. Like I love all of that stuff. And great voice acting. Really, really good voice acting. So that is my number 5. Whether you like it or not, I am going to say Ghostwire Tokyo.
You're the worst.
We're just gonna have to deal with it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Ed. What's anyways.
Your number 4, Corey?
My number 4.
Would you be like Death Store or something? Which is a really amazing game. Everybody, please play it.
Amazing. Death Store is incredible. My number 4 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It is the follow-up to Jedi Fallen Order. It is much better than Fallen Order.
Corey.
What? What do you want?
We did it again. It's my number 4 also. I love this game so much. I do hate where I'm at in the game, but this game is so fun.
I wish I would have played. So I finished the game. I mainlined it because I wanted to finish it. But I wish I would have done more. I just looked at the time, like I was like, man, this would be a fun game to get like all the achievements in. And then I looked at it and it's like main quest, 15 to 19 hours. Very doable for someone who plays games like I do. To 100% the game, 70 to 80 hours. I was like, nope, pass. Pass.
From where I'm at, I think I need to watch a video because I feel like something is broken. I'm like, something's not right about this, and I cannot progress, and I don't know
where
why
are
I can't
you?
get through this.
Where? I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but where are you exactly? Because there was a part I remember I thought I was stuck, but you have to do something else before you can do that. So what planet are you on?
It is, I think it's the 3rd one. Oh, dang it. Is
it the moon planet?
No.
I forget what all the planets are. I played it over the summer.
I would have to install the game, and I'll let everybody know next time. I have to install it, and because I'm dropping Control. I'm taking that off my Xbox, and I'm going to install Star Wars Jedi Survivor and see where I'm at. It's a puzzle where I gotta goodness, it's a big open canyon gap that I gotta cross, but I'm coming back from it because I just got a new power and everything. And then like when I was coming back, I went to the right side, and there's it's like a water puzzle that you gotta kind of move these blocks over onto the other side, like throw them. And I know that I need to get it at another place, but I can't do it. So but I just got to figure out what that puzzle is. Because I played it, I got to that point, and then I took it off so I could install some other games and everything. But I'm gonna reinstall the game, and I'll let you know where I'm at.
Okay.
Because I think I ended up doing some story stuff and side stuff and everything. So, but I did enjoy what I played of it.
Oh, it's a great game. Highly recommended. Combat's great. The combat's really good. Less Soulsy than the first one, I would say.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think the easy mode does a great job of making it feel like just a basic action game, as opposed to like normal and hard make it feel more like a Soulsy game. But yeah, I mean, if you just want to play a really cool story, you should play that.
Yeah,
definitely should play it.
What's your number 3, Corey?
My number 3, Ed, is so this is a game I actually played the demo of earlier this year, and it was incredible. And then I got distracted by other things, and then I revisited it during break, and it would probably be way higher on my list. And by way higher, I mean maybe game of the year if I finished it or played more of it. But for where I'm at now, I felt like I couldn't. If I did that, I would be doing the game a disservice and the audience a disservice. But anyways, Final Fantasy 16, man.
Nice.
That game is incredible. Dude, that game looks incredible. The combat's incredible. The characters are cool. It's an awesome video game. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's just a really awesome video game. I really like the story that's being told. I think family we'll say family drama is super relatable in my family. And that's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Listen, look, maybe that'll be an After Dark topic someday. Oh man. But yeah, it's just it's really a really cool, relatable story. There's a little bit of a love story in there. It's got all the pieces for me. Man, Final Fantasy 16, man. I can't wait to that might be the first game I play for finish for the new year is that game. It's just so great. It is so great, man.
And I think that's why people love Ben Starr because of the voice acting that he's done for his and being funny and goofy. But I think his voice acting in the game really, it's just really tight. It's so good and everything. I have been listening to some of it from the game, like with the demo and everything. Just like watching people play and watching the YouTube clips. And I was just like, man, he's done a phenomenal job. And yeah, I agree with you. The game looks gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah. It's an incredible video game.
It kind of just, it gives me Xenoblade Chronicles 3 performance feels to it. And I love that. I love that. I'm sorry, everybody, that I keep going to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but once again,
also a really incredible video game.
The voice acting in the moments in that game, oh goodness, it hits and it's so good, and it sucks that it didn't win Game of the Year. It really does.
Got nominated though.
Yes. So Final Fantasy 16 is yours, with my number 3 being Dead Space Remake. This is the game that I needed. I'm so glad this game got remade because I'm sorry, LaRon. I tried to make it through the first game, and I'm just like, I cannot do this. This is clunky. I hate some of the designs that they did in this game,
and you wonder why he yells at you all the time.
I know, but all of that is fixed in Dead Space Remake. I love that the Motive did a phenomenal job with the shooting. The shooting feels so good. The enemies aren't too scary. I'm glad I could float in space in that 3D air. It's tighter than BioWare's one with Anthem. It's a little bit tighter than Anthem. Don't get me wrong. Anthem flying feels phenomenal, spot on. But this
That's
one
about the only thing that's phenomenal about that game.
no. That's another conversation to have another day. But the flying in Dead Space Remake is good from its original one. Like, this really feels like a brand new game, like really a brand new game from the ground up and everything. And I'm just like, now I get it. Now I see why people love this game and everything. And it's oh goodness. I'm playing it on Series X, and I just bought some new Xbox wireless headsets from Microsoft. And it just sounds so good. I'm like, this is perfection. Pure perfection. It sounds so good. So, Dead Space Remake looks gorgeous. I really hope that they do too. I'm looking forward now to more of Motive games. I'm like, oh, y'all stepped up to the plate. Y'all did that. Yeah. Okay, EA. Y'all got two top tier games. Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Dead Space Remake.
And I would say one of the other games that I initially didn't really care for, but also playing it over break and playing more of it since we last talked was Immortals of Avium is actually really good too. I mean,
that's 3 of them.
I know that's an EA original, but like
Corey, it's my number 2. Immortals of Avium. Like, that game is super fun and everything, and I cannot wait till I get into the side quest on it. I know EXP been talking about that. A lot of people have actually given that game a chance, and they're loving it. They're having so much fun and everything. So, I mean, shout out to that developer and to that team. Sad that they lost people.
Yeah, they laid off
and everything.
They laid off half their studio too because that game didn't sell well.
Yeah,
which is sad. Man. Like, it didn't even. Some of the rumors, I don't know how true this is, but some of the rumors was it didn't even break 6 figures in terms of sales, like units sold.
I could believe that. I could see that.
Which is sad because it's interesting. Also, the title is pretty bad. They should have just called it the Forever War or something. Would have been immensely better. But
I will say this is the first time me having 3 EA games on any of my lists. You know, the only game that there's 2 games of EA games that I would probably 3. No, was Burnout Takedown EA?
Burnout is an EA franchise, yes.
I would have had Burnout, Triple Play Baseball 96.
Oh, God.
On Sega Genesis. And Titanfall 2. 4 games. Medal of Honor. The remake of Medal of Honor. Dang it. And Frontlines I would have had. If I could probably make a top 10 EA list, but yeah, definitely those games were building. But yeah, Immortals of Avium, just love that game. And it's challenging depending on what level you put it on. But just like as long as you play and you get stronger, you do the side quests, you get a lot of great stuff and you get better and everything, and you learn the powers and stuff. Fun game to move around and everything, and it looks good in Unreal Engine 5 really looks good. So that is my number 2. Corey, what's your
well, it'd be my number 2 because you didn't give your number 3 yet.
Number 3 was Dead Space Remake.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. Pause. Never mind. Rewind. My number 2 Ed. Is Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
It actually moved up my list over break because I got sucked back in early on. I was just going through all the games on the list and getting a feel of like, okay, what did I like about this? What didn't I like? Where does it fit now that a couple of months have passed? And I got sucked back in and did like 15 shrines and did some more exploring and whatever. And I still really want to go back to it. And I don't know if I'll 100% it or not, but the reason why it's not higher, honestly, is because it feels like more of the same. We've kind of talked about that. Also, I absolutely despise the building mechanics. I cannot stand in the shrines. It's okay because it's like you're using it to solve a puzzle, and that makes sense to me. But like when you have to build a vehicle to fly over here and do this and collect batteries and pretty much build like a Star Destroyer to whatever
which someone did.
I know, and I'm just like I can't do this. I can't I can't do this. But everything else about it is amazingly built off the back of Breath of the Wild, and it's a must play. The story is 1,000% better than Breath of the Wild. I loved Breath of the Wild story, but this is at least 10 times better story wise. I thought Ganon was absolutely terrifying. I think Zelda this is the best version of Zelda they've ever created. I thought the introduction of the Zonai and Menaru and it's just I really love this story and these characters. Part of me is really sad that we're going to leave these characters behind now and that we're moving on. But we did get 3 games with these characters, so you can't be that upset, I guess. All things considered, with if you're including Age of Calamity, that I really thought we were going to get I really thought we were going to get a third game in this series, but we're just going to have to throw Age of Calamity in there as the third game. There's like 7 or 8 episodes of us theorizing a trilogy of Breath of the Wild style games.
Yeah, we're not going to get our third trilogy game.
Yeah, but it's okay.
But it was leaning towards that. Like, no joke.
And I know they said they're moving away from. Did they officially say they're moving? I'm not getting into it right now. We can talk about it later.
No, they didn't officially say it, but they may go.
They said they're moving on from this version of Hyrule.
Yeah.
Man, they could still go somewhere else with these characters. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. We can't do that right now. Future expansion pass.
Exactly. Yes.
Put it on the list.
It's on the list.
Do you have the doc? Do you have the doc open?
Episode topics. Yeah.
Put it on the list. Just type it in because I don't have the doc open. Just type in third Breath of the Wild game or whatever. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is incredible. The thing is too is like I really like what I learned from Breath of the Wild and applied it to Tears of the Kingdom. You can definitely do that, even though the powers are different and some of the weapons are different and the way to utilize some of the stuff is different. Like the basic collecting resources and selling them when you can and crafting them when you can, right? And that still remains. And it makes me want to go back to Breath of the Wild actually and like be more efficient at that game. Like upgrading my armor and that kind of stuff. Also, another downgrade, instant decline from spot number 1, Ed. The Wolf Link amiibo only gives you meat. It doesn't give you a Wolf Link companion. And I know you get other companions in this game, but it doesn't matter. Fail. Instant fail, Nintendo. 1 out of 10. No Wolf Link.
Well, everybody, this is going to be our reversal point of the theme. So,
Okay.
Corey, you mentioned Hi-Fi Rush earlier.
Yeah.
With Hi-Fi Rush being my number one. I'm sorry. Great music, funny. The game is funny. Really great writing, great characters. It really feels like a mixture of Insomniac game and a Nintendo game. With it being originally from Xbox, it borrows a little. If the feels are like it feels like an Insomniac game in motion, and just playing the game with the action and everything. And the great writing, and it feels like a Nintendo game because of the rhythm stuff. It feels like if you're if you're a fan, I keep going to the beat agents and rhythm heaven and stuff like that. But those kind of rhythm stuff, if you know how Nintendo does it, it feels really good and really tight. And everything. Wow, just being something different from Microsoft. Like it really, when we're talking about narrative games, and not everything has to be a shooter or always adult and dark and stuff. It really speaks out to the creativity that when uh one of their studios do completely something different and giving a try, and just like really have that tight quality put to it, it really makes Microsoft stand out. And Tango Gameworks really stood out with this one, with Hi-Fi Rush. Like I don't love the last boss. I will say that one is that boss was really cheap in a sense, but all the other bosses and everything, the level layouts, the fights are really good. I will say the music to, I think it's the level before you get to the last boss. When you're about to go like fight him and stuff and trying to get and trying to progress, it's such a good song. And I know it's a licensed song and everything that they use for part of the game in original music. But I really was jamming out to the whole soundtrack for the whole game. Like, and I'm probably going, I need to go back to it. I wish they had DLC to it, but I really want to go back to it and find those bands and listen to their discography and everything. Cause yes, everybody, I do listen to rock. And everything. I do listen to metal, even some of the heavy screaming stuff. I do listen
Ed's
to
pretty white.
yeah, but I do listen to a variety of music, of genre music, and just like it has one of the best soundtracks out here and everything. So Hi-Fi Rush is my number one, which I could probably guess what your number one is, Corey.
Yeah, so I want to preface this by saying this game isn't mechanically the best game all year. It's not the best story all year. But A, it was one of the biggest surprises to me of the year, and B, a world that I absolutely used to love, and this game made me fall back in love with. And that's Hogwarts Legacy is my game of the year. Sometimes, you know, with all the hubbub and controversy and, you know, mix with, you know, the last couple movies in the franchise weren't very good or not celebrated, right? You kind of forget how important Harry Potter was for a long time in like the early 2000s and mid 2000s and into the teens, you know, the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the first book came out in 1996, right? I mean, that's a you forget that franchise is that old at this point. And I remember reading the books and moving into the movies, and like my wife and I pretty regularly rewatch the entire series. And, you know, I mean, we haven't really done that since we had kids, you know, all the way through, but Harry Potter in the wizarding world is a world that is an incredible experience if you just let yourself be reminded that, like, you know, it's whimsical. just great characters. It's funny when it needs to be. It's serious when it needs to be. It's great. It's Harry Potter is great. And the fact that they, Avalanche, the makers of Disney Infinity and Toy Story 3 and Cars Driven to Win, those quadruple A bangers, like they pulled off a triple A Wizarding World game that is not only acceptable, but in all honesty, pretty damn good, Excuse my language. Yeah. This is a family show, but even the Switch version is really good. On our Game of the Year episode for Nintendo games, the Switch version was lower on my list, but that's because we were only including Switch versions of games. But playing this on Xbox Series X and creating a character and being sorted into your house and like just playing in this world, and the story was pretty cool. Like, the story was pretty interesting on paper. It didn't really pan out as great as it sounded, but like, there's this dark magic and this disgruntled goblin. It doesn't like the way goblins are being treated, and so he leads a goblin revolution with this dark magic, and you are one of the few people in the entire world that can, sense this strange ancient magic or whatever. So it's really cool. Highly recommended. Is it a 10 out of 10? No, not even close. I would put it maybe hover around an 8, honestly, if I was to score it critically. But man, it's just this is a game I think about often, and there's not a lot of games. Like every few years there's a game that I think about quite often, aside from Destiny, because that's a game that keeps going. Like Breath of the Wild is one that I think about. I still constantly think about Breath of the Wild. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a game that I constantly think about, and I would put that in that list for me of games that I just constantly think about all the time. And so Hogwarts Legacy is a special game. If you haven't played it and you are a Harry Potter fan, play it. You won't be sorry. Some of the side quests sure are tedious, and it does get a little ridiculous towards the end when you learn the unforgivable curses and the automatic kill curse is like not, whatever. You're slinging it around the castle, this illegal, banned curse. You're just winging it around the castle like it's, you're tossing bread across the room or whatever, but it's fun. It's fun. You got to take that element of this is a video game and apply it to this. But man, Ed, this is a special game. Everybody should play this game.
Awesome. Yes. Well, Corey, I think we got a pretty great list. To remind everybody, my games going from 10 to 1 is Redfall, Dead Island 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Alan Wake 2, Gungrave Gore, Ghostwire Tokyo, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Dead Space Remake, Immortals of Avium, and my number 1 was Hi-Fi Rush. And like I said, all of these I played on my Series X. Corey, your turn.
My 10 to 1, Ravenlock, Hi-Fi Rush, Destiny 2 Lightfall, Resident Evil 4, Pikmin 4, Disney Dreamlight Valley 1.0, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Final Fantasy 16, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes. And everybody, that is going to kind of be it for our games of 2023 for all consoles. Like I said, my Nintendo ones are on Nintendo Power Block, so you guys can check out what I think what became my number 1. You will actually be surprised what my number 1 is. But we had a really great year of gaming across all platforms. Definitely third parties stood up to the plate. And we're going to kind of have a discussion on indie games, like what happened to them this year. In 2023, because there are a lot of great indie games that came out, but I think it just didn't get the recognition for it. And I will personally say. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.